This is Shannon Bryce with a WRMU Special News Report. A group of freshmen at the University of Mount Union really felt new respect for the Muslim faith as they were assigned to literally walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Instructor in the Department of History, Professor Terry Davis, was responsible for 16 freshman students this fall as she taught an LS 100 course. The LS 100 class is a course that all incoming freshmen must take their first semester at Mount Union. Each year, the LS 100 classes are assigned a book, and Professor Davis explained a little about that to show where her inspiration for this project stemmed from.
The LS students had to read the book A Thousand Splendid Suns, and the burqa became sort of the central theme that everybody was talking about. This is the Muslim religion. The story, A Thousand Splendid Suns, is about two women from different backgrounds, both ending up in the same place. The Taliban comes into Afghanistan and imposes very strict rules upon the people, and one of those rules was women were not allowed in public without a burqa. Then the women become no one in society.
She discussed a part in the book where the husband, Rashid, brings home a burqa and tells his wife she can no longer go in public without it. Davis stressed that she wanted her class to understand the meaning behind the burqa.
And I started thinking, now, I wonder how I can get that point across to the students, because if they come in with that same attitude, what's the big deal about a burqa? They're not going to understand the book. I was passing some ideas around with a friend, and she says, well, you know, there's that whole walk a mile in someone else's shoe thing. Make them wear a burqa. So that's what I did.
For the project, the students in her class were all given the choice to participate. Out of the 10 men and 6 women in the class, only the men were up for the challenge.
None of the women wanted to participate in it. They said that they felt very capable of understanding oppression without having to put the burqa on, and so they just didn't feel the need to do it, and they just wrote regular essays for the class.
The men that participated not only had to wear the burqa to class and activities for an entire day, but also had to obey certain rules.
They had to obey burqa etiquette, which is not raising the robe above height necessary to go up steps. If you raised your arm, you had to make sure that your arm wasn't exposed. If they ate in public, they had to just pull the burqa away from their face and eat without exposing any part of their face.
Professor Davis said that the reactions she got from the participants were somewhat similar.
No one knew who you were. If you didn't tell them your name, they didn't know who they were talking to. They said that that also influenced, for example, the way other people interacted with them. One fellow said, well, okay, maybe it made you feel a little empowered because you could make dirty faces at people and no one would know what you were doing. But on the other hand, it meant you were nobody. You know, you were just a faceless, nameless blob walking around society. It seems to have given them some idea of what it would be like to be a member in a society where you had no face and therefore no voice.
Neil Jordan, a freshman from Twinsburg, Ohio, participated and experienced feelings of loneliness while wearing the burqa.
No one knows who you are, no identity. In a way, it's cool just to be able to go out and have no one know who you are, but at the same time, it's lonely, I guess.
Although he said the burqa was hot and it was hard to eat, he did gain a new respect for the women who wear them.
I definitely have more respect for them, like tolerating this being their norm, that they have to wear this even in like 100-degree heat. It helps you understand other people from their perspective, being in another person's shoes for a day.
Professor Davis would love to see more of this activity happen throughout the world.
There's a lot of issues in the world where walking a mile in someone else's shoes might do you some good.
This has been Shannon Bryce with a WRMU Special News Report.